You
Bad
don't
touch.
strategy.
I don't consent.
Yeah, I know.
I've been waiting 3 years to do that.
Well, there are good movies, and there are great movies.
Oh.
And none of that is what we watch here because this is shitty cinema.
I don't know what good movies are anymore.
Yeah,
don't.
I think I've been ruined by this. My standards are awful because all I do is watch awful movies that are the B flicks, the stuff that you can only find made for TV or straight to DVD, which is a classic marker of shitty cinema.
You know what they say, you are what you watch.
I don't think they say that.
This started like a joke, and it ruined our lives.
And it
Like,
ruined our lives.
I mean, sometimes we look at movies that we watched a lot as kids and go, oh, so that's why I'm the way that I am.
I see that I'm broken because of this.
Yeah.
There's a clear causal chain.
Oh, you did this,
so
Val.
there's a part of Val inside of you could say.
Yes, but you mean well, also yes.
Yes.
But
you paid good money for that, too.
absolutely, yeah. We're going to be talking about something that I watched way too many times as a child today, and I'm sorry for that and for the things it made me.
I feel like I always shrink you when it's your movie.
Yeah.
And before we do that, I'm Jay and full of regret.
I'm Dave, and I brought this on us.
I'm Casey, and I'm going to solve your problems and give you new, worse ones.
I'll take that. I'm Juice, and I accept your offer.
The fun thing we do here at Shitty Cinema is we always pick our movies around a theme. That's what makes it interesting. And this month's theme is back to school. Casey, what are we looking for out of movies this month?
The reason I dropped out. And really, part of the reason I dropped out is alcohol. So we prepared a drink for this month. Back to school. School time. Ah, what a lovely time of year. Fall. You're sitting by a fire. And you're too lazy to microwave this drink because you were in a hurry. And sorry, guys, this is supposed to be hot. Yeah, stir it with your finger because now all the booze has settled to the bottom, and I'm
Just the way I like it.
I have a feeling it's going to be gross anyway, so
like
let's
a
try to
drink
make it
with
as
layers.
easy as possible. This is a real genius drink.
Oh, go on.
I didn't have any beakers, but it is Jack Daniels,
I thought so.
amaretto, and apple cider.
I mean, I'm okay with that.
All right.
Yeah, it
Bottoms
wasn't.
up.
Bottoms up, ladies and gentlemen.
I was just going to do Jack Daniels and popcorn butter, but
Oh,
I can't stop puking.
all right.
Wait, is there actual butter in here?
just a little. Just a little.
Dave is just chugging his right now.
Wow.
Planning
David,
it down.
Why?
Fuck this.
Dave
I'm
is
done.
going back to school.
It is the theme of the month.
Oh, shit.
How
You've
was
taken
that?
me back to the college days, and you hand me a glass with Jack in it.
I have to say, this drink isn't as bad as I thought it was going to be, but I also don't like it.
Okay, so
No,
I got a pocket of Jack Daniels, and that is a kick in the face. It's a very particular flavor, and it's very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Jack came through real strong on the odor, which is common. It's Jack Daniels.
Yeah.
And it was definitely in there, but it worked better with the apple cider than I expected. I think
Yeah.
that amaretto really helped give something else
You know,
to
Jack
it.
Daniels, the aftertaste, all kidding aside, would go well with butter. So,
They both have an oiliness to them.
yes. What do we expect to happen this month?
You know, we've been
We're drinking Jack and cider. You had moonshine out of a juice box and smearing off with candy in it. What the fuck is this?
Okay, hold on.
Is
You're
this
really
rock
bringing
bottom?
me down
Is
here.
it- Well, rock bottom is also where I was at when I was in college. So
Yeah,
I
I
feel
think-
like
yeah.
this is so
in terms
this
of
is getting
alcohol.
deeply relatable.
In terms of alcohol, we've got a malt beverage that peaked 15 years ago.
Damn it.
We've got
You said malt beverage.
Is it not?
No, that's the point.
Okay.
You're correct.
Yeah. What did we have? Moonshine served in a novelty container.
No, it's a real container. The juice was a novelty.
I'm just saying
And
it
I
has been.
crafted it back together.
It has been very much that, and that's something that you only put the effort into in college. So I'm impressed that you put that in
Thank you.
so far after the fact, and it is very true to theme.
I didn't mean for it to be. It's just got your face right now, Jay, finishing that.
In watching Kindergarten Cop 2 last week, I did wish someone would serve all those kids moonshine in an apple cider
Yes.
box.
Oh, that would have been hell for like an hour, and then the rest of the day they'd have just crashed.
What movie did you watch, though? 'Cause-
It would have been shorter than the actual movie.
Yeah.
Exactly. We could have just watched all these kids pass out and be hungover and then be done with it.
I feel awful.
Like, oh, and then all the kids woke up and puked over everything, and the parents sued the school into the ground, and everybody got fired at the end.
Happily ever after.
And that's the movie we watched.
Yeah.
I was really hoping for the bus driver had one too many juice boxes and they all just go off a cliff. But,
We didn't talk
there's
about
less
that.
yelling. Anyway, this week,
Yeah.
we're in college. Dave brings us.
I was so tired of watching kindergartens after Cops 1 and 2.
Hey, I did
welcome.
the first one because it was great. Jade's just trying to
Jay made it mean with number 2.
like, you know how you go to that party
Okay,
and there's
wait.
one guy that is like copying the cool guy and like, yeah, I'm just gonna use the same phrases that this guy uses. That was Jay this week.
Let me ask you a question. What's the name of this podcast?
Not Dolph Lundgren's dad rants.
I feel really fucking cheated right now because I think I was very much in the spirit of this month with
The
Yeah.
substitute.
Treat
The
Williams.
substitute
were
was classic. Although I gotta make a
Jay,
side
you
note.
brought us a tumor. Fuck off. Close your mouth. Okay?
Real quick, Dolph, I am willing to participate in Dolph Lundgren's dad rants if you want to set that up. Get a hold of me. So yeah, after a couple weeks of kindergarten, I decided to take us back to college with 1985's classic, questionable,
Maybe.
Real Genius, starring Val Kilmer and a bunch of other people that don't matter because the cover is just a picture of Val Kilmer.
William Atherton is a big actor.
William Atherton's a reasonably big
Isn't that
actor.
technically the main
But yeah, he's
star?
He's
Val
our
Kilmer.
No, he's not. He's a secondary character, but our main star is just so forgettable.
80s Michael Cera.
Yeah, he's
Oh.
Yeah, I said it.
Yeah, no, and it makes all of the sense.
But less annoying. You actually, at some points care if this
I
kid were
disagree
to
with
die.
you.
No,
the-
Michael Cera's worse.
Yeah,
No.
no, I actively wish him harm when I see him on screen.
I am just rooting for Michael Cera to get his ass kicked.
And
It's
he's-
a romance. Oh. So he could still
Does
get his
it
ass
have
kicked though,
to be,
right?
though?
yeah.
When's the man coming in? I'm sure Michael Cera is a really nice person in real life. He's just so good at playing that really fucking annoying character.
Yeah. Dave, you brought Real Genius. You're going to have to give an elevator pitch for it.
Yay.
But here's the catch. You're in a house and you're tied down to the table. But it's a
Kinky.
long table and there's a table in front of you, and on that table is a giant thing of tinfoil, and inside of that is a bunch of popcorn. So at least you're going to go out with the delicious smell, and maybe if you're lucky, you'll get to catch a couple of the popcorns in your mouth.
I'm pretty okay with this so far.
Okay, awesome. So, and you have 10 seconds to give us this elevator pitch, Mr. Bond. I mean, Dave, before this laser beam comes through the picture window, roast you up some popcorn, and then, cuts you in half starting at your balls.
Oh.
Is this
Well,
what you
that's
want
just
for your
how it
Make-A-Wish?
works. I'm not a scientist. I just play one on this radio podcast.
All right.
You have 10 seconds to pitch this movie. Go.
Awkward genius Mitch accidentally builds a laser while learning how to live from Val Kilmer, who's an absolute dick.
6 seconds.
Nice.
Impressive.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Impressive. Casey, what does that smell? Is it popcorn?
Every time someone asks that, they might be tricking me into sniffing one of their farts, but I think it is.
No,
this is Popcorn. the voice
of God.
I told you not.
a stroke.
Oh my god, strokes are delicious.
I told you not to go into the house. What did you do?
I had to poop
Why did you go into the house?
because I had to poop.
Well, you're about to get caught by that same laser beam. And you
Damn.
hear Dave's elevator pitch, but you know what you think? You think,
I don't want to die in the bathroom like Elvis.
But then you also think you could do one better on the elevator pitch.
Oh, I mean, I think that constantly. Anything Dave does.
Totally
Yeah.
one up Elvis.
So, Casey, you have 10 seconds before the laser roasts the whole house and you die suffocating on popcorn, which I guess is a really good way to go.
But I just don't want to die in the bathroom like Elvis. So I'm going to try to wipe real fast and run out. And this is what I got to say. Val Kilmer condescends his way through senior year, builds a popcorn laser, proving he discovered weed in his junior year.
Nice. 6 seconds as well.
Yeah, you two.
Now we got time to eat some of this tasty, tasty popcorns.
Question: was it buttered beforehand?
I don't think any of it
fucking-
was buttered, actually.
Ew. Oh, I don't want it anymore.
I know,
I hate plain popcorn.
I know, but think about how much butter they would need for enough popcorn to explode a house. That's a lot of butter.
I know.
Casey, you just got really sensual on that.
Yeah, well, I love buttered popcorn.
I think just
I'm with
butter.
Are you here for the popcorn, or are you just here for the butter?
Dave, what was this movie about?
All right. Let's try and get through this.
Go ahead, real genius.
Oh. So our movie mostly follows Mitch. Mitch is a brilliant but awkward 15-year-old genius with some pretty shitty parents.
Let's just say that Mitch is a bitch.
He is. Mitch is kind of a bitch. His mom's sweet but stupid, and his dad's clearly just trying to bank off of his smart-ass son. It's not good. But then William Atherton shows up, who plays the exact same character he plays in Ghostbusters and Die Hard. He's just a smarmy dick that you want to slap in the face.
Yep.
He's great, though.
It's not just his face, it's also his voice.
It's his voice, his delivery, his posture. He's really good at playing somebody you want to slap the shit out of.
And they give him the perfect wardrobe to be just douche.
Yes. He does that again here, where he plays a professor at a school for geniuses. I think it's Caltech. Isn't that a real school?
Yeah, it's
okay.
yeah.
So he's a professor at Caltech.
I didn't know this was okay.
Is that
Yeah, in
one of those,
1985.
like,
It's like an MIT class.
DeVry?
No.
I don't believe you.
Mitch is roommates with Val Kilmer, who is a super senior, given that he's
Super
26 years old
dick.
at the time of this movie.
Ew.
Super
Yeah.
senior.
Yeah.
Maybe he's like in his doctorate.
He's Tony Stark before Tony Stark was Tony Stark. He's just a dick to everyone, super smarmy. He's always got a smart-ass thing to say. We really don't like him.
Tell us how you really feel, Dave.
He's one of those guys. Well, you go on with your plot. I have
Yeah.
my own plot for later.
We'll bitch about
We'll talk about
we'll bitch about Val and whatever his character was
what
named
this
later
movie's
on.
really about.
Val and Mitch, along with another character, Kent the Cunt, who is basically every like Revenge of the Nerds style trope rolled up into one character.
The guy who was just behind that was trying too hard.
Yeah. All three of them are assigned to work on a space laser by Jerry.
Which is the coolest thing ever.
It is pretty goddamn cool. It's a sweet-ass laser that he's building for some secret military tribunal. I don't know. They're established in shadowy background characters throughout the movie. So Mitch works on the laser. We meet the love interest, a 19-year-old who just talks at a
Isn't
million miles a minute.
Selma Blair, but
it's
it
not
could
Selma
be.
Blair, but it really could
She
be
looks
Selma Blair.
so much like Selma Blair.
And
Selma
she doesn't
Blair-
ever sleep.
She looks like Selma Blair crossed with Lord Farquaad from Shrek.
Just the
Yes.
haircut.
And the chin.
No, not at all.
No, yeah,
There
no,
was
I
shades
saw
of
it in
the
the
chin.
jawline. Like,
Oh,
yeah, that
no.
jawline was
Or,
just
yeah,
like,
the jawline. I'm sorry.
Wow. Okay.
That would be amazing.
Yeah. We meet various other Einstein babies. We have a really bad montage by 80 standards. The first one, which was the only real montage.
no, honestly, what we had 4, but they were all not montages.
yeah.
No.
We'll bitch about the montages later, but the first one was an actual montage with music and everything. We meet the former superstar of the school, Laszlo, who now lives in the walls and comes out to help them study.
Casey was triggered.
like
In the closet.
the
to be
mice in
specific.
Cinderella, but if they were long-haired weirdos that masturbate in the basement.
Pretty much, yeah. The plot really doesn't go anywhere for a while until eventually Kent the Cunt decides he just really, really hates Mitch so much that he's going to record him when he's crying on the phone to his mom and play it over the intercoms for the entire school. I thought this was where we got into Act 3, but then I took 2 more act breaks after this.
Yeah, no, this movie could have ended like 7 to 12 times.
Yes.
Yeah. So the government's now getting pissed off that the laser hasn't been built yet. So Jerry threatens to flunk Val Kilmer out of school to make him work on it harder. We get a bunch more montages. A sapiosexual pedophile shows up at one point. She tries to bang Mitch, but he turns her down because he wants to hook up with Jordan. Jordan was her name. She's just
Selma
a love
Blair.
interest. Not Selma Blair.
It's not
No.
Selma Blair.
No, it's Student Farquaad.
Kent the cunt sabotages the laser because he's in love with Jerry and he doesn't want to let them succeed. But Val Kilmer has a eureka moment and they finally figure out, hey, here's how we can make a laser that blows a hole through everything. And they shoot through everything on campus and light a billboard on fire.
And somehow don't kill anyone.
No one got hit.
Listen, there is a total subtext of death in this film. I will explain.
Follow
later.
the trail of
All right.
Follow
bodies.
the trade of bodies.
Jay's going to follow the money later on.
I will follow the money. You know, it's funny you say
Right
that,
after
Dave.
Casey's cocktail
It's
comes
funny you
Jay's
say that.
conspiracies.
Do you know who funded this project? Do you know who funded it? The taxpayer, David. The taxpayer. The taxpayer's taxes
We're all
paid
terrorists.
for the school to pay Jerry's salary that he would use to get the students who they pay the student loans to.
Who's paying the
taxpayer.
student
This
loans?
checks out
Okay.
too much and it's just making me sad. So
Yeah,
Thanks
not-
for
actually,
bringing
that does make a
everyone
lot of
down.
sense.
yeah, let's power through the rest of this. The government steals the laser, or rather takes it since they bought it, I guess. The Scooby Gang realizes, oh no, we built a super laser. So they proceed to break into the firing facility, get onto the plane the laser's on, reprogram it. They fill Jerry's house full of unpopped popcorn because he hates popcorn. That came up earlier in the
Who
movie.
hates popcorn?
People with no souls. Calling you out, Jerry.
Jerry.
And the reprogrammed laser shoots into Jerry's house, pops all of the popcorn. It completely fills the house to the point that the windows burst out and the house starts falling down around them. Kent the cunt was inside at the time. He has a come to Jesus moment and rides a wave of popcorn out the front door.
Which was very unfortunate. I really wish Kent the Cunt would have just suffocated with you guys.
I just realized I didn't even mention when they put a speaker inside Kent's mouth and made him think Jesus was telling him to stop masturbating.
And he wouldn't.
Yeah,
He wouldn't.
No.
And he lied about it. Yeah.
I mean, if I was told to stop masturbating by any kind of voice, I probably would say that I would, but never would. You gotta research.
Can you hear
man.
me or can you see me? What are the rules?
I'm just curious. I'm asking for a friend.
Wait. What are you wearing?
Can I see you? You sound hot. Are you hot? Are you a hot boy? Tinder Jesus.
Swipe right.
Okay, let's talk about this popcorn. You guys are itching and biting at the fucking bit to talk about popcorn, and I feel like you popped your wad on this already.
Okay.
Yeah, we probably did.
I wanted to. Number one, the only scene of this movie I could remember is the house at the end getting exploded.
Yeah,
With
no,
popcorn.
no, you're completely right because I know I'd seen that, and there was about halfway through that I go, that house isn't going to get blown up by popcorn, is it?
Yes.
Is this like
thinks
is this
that?
a boy thing? Is this like you guys are like J-O-ing over dinosaurs and Jurassic Park and shit? Because the popcorn scene didn't do it for
The
me at
joys
all.
of being buried in popcorn is gender
I was-
neutral.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't.
I'm just trying to see where I'm at on the line because
We've already decided the people that don't like popcorn have no souls.
oh, I love popcorn, but that scene wasn't like iconic. I thought it was cooler to have the whole fucking floor frozen and be ice skating
Okay.
through the dorm and then have it evaporate instead of
but
melt.
You know how at some point you realize, oh, Scrooge can't really dive into coins. He'll just hurt himself. You can dive into popcorn. It'll let you in.
Yeah, but you can dive in lots of things like mashed potatoes.
Oh, that's so gross. I do not want to be in a vat of mashed potatoes.
What
Does it
about
have lumps in it?
That actually seems really dangerous.
you know what does have lumps
know,
and
right?
shouldn't?
Can you imagine trying to tread in mashed potatoes?
I think about it sometimes.
If you go in head first, you might not come back out.
I don't want
Is
to.
there gravy involved?
That's like the shallow end.
We call it the quicksand.
No.
That's the hot tub.
Let me give you some context for our audience. The scene comes about because the Scooby Gang decides the best way to get back at Jerry for being a dick and making them build a super laser for the military is to hack it so that it shoots Jerry's beloved house instead of the intended target. And inside of that house, they create a giant popcorn maker, essentially, with the laser beam heating it up so that it would fill up with popcorn, and it ends up blowing the house up.
It was a Jiffy Pop. It was a giant Jiffy Pop.
It was a giant Jiffy Pop. But the background is what's really fantastic about it. They built a full-sized Victorian frame house out by Los Angeles. Like, that was an actual structure that they built. And then they Rube Goldberg, built an elaborate network of conveyor belts, hydraulic lifts, air blowers, vacuum hoses, and so that they could, on cue, pump out 190,000 pounds of fucking popcorn.
And that's what it sounds like when Jay comes.
Seriously.
Seriously, it does. I just heard it not that long ago.
Does Jade normally scream popcorn when he climaxes? Here
No,
comes the
it's-
popcorn!
Fucking popcorn!
Seriously.
Fun fact. Retail value of that popcorn that they used for that was $1.8 million if you would have bought it
Jesus.
At the cinema?
at the cinema.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say
that
at
was
Whole
more
Foods.
that was more than 4 large popcorns.
I don't believe you. Was this a miniature set?
It was enough to feed 720,000 people.
Did it? Did they donate it, I hope?
No, they didn't
No.
donate any of it. It was they had
It was
to
months old.
they had to treat it. It took 3 months to pop it all, but they had to treat it within a flame retardant, so it wasn't edible. And they also then had to hire people to cover it with tarps and scare away birds so that they didn't eat it and die.
Oh my god.
90,000 cubic feet were from another company that they had to pay to, or that helped them pop all that.
Is that science or is that real science?
That's real genius science.
Is that like the carburetor is with the combobulator in the simulator?
Yeah,
Or
you
the
just gotta-
stimulator?
It's got a bad oxygen sensor.
This movie's science sounded like strange Al Sharpton robot speak.
Their implication of science was worse. When, what's his little bitch boy's name? Bitch the Mitch.
Mitch
Mitch the bitch.
the bitch.
What the first time that he's introduced to the group working on the laser, it's not working right, and he looks up behind it and he goes, "Oh, I don't know exactly what he says, but he just taps the back of the laser and it starts working."
He fiddles with something.
Yeah, he
That's
fiddles
what-
with a knob.
I have
No,
been-
that was not a knob. That
It
was
was
just
a
a black
knob.
covering that he tapped.
I have been reliably informed that science is mostly fiddling with things. You
It's true. You
fiddle
just
with
gotta
the beaker,
write it
fiddle
down.
with the knob.
Dave, we're not talking about your research.
No, that's Juice's research.
Well, no, but
I feel
now
like
we
it
know
was
what your research
Your
is.
Yeah, you're just
research for
fiddling
your
with it.
movie. It was
Pornhub
so
search fiddles with beakers.
obnoxious. So just ugh. I don't have to look any of it up to know it's fake. And you know what? If it's real, that'll somehow make it worse. So
Supposedly, they actually brought in scientists to
Yeah.
double check some shit for this and help them
some
write stuff.
shit.
They went to a training about lasers.
Did they really?
I
Yeah.
can also go to DeVry. Okay.
So does that actually mean that a 5 megawatt laser could like blow a hole through a concrete wall and across the town to a billboard?
You know that liberal arts degree I have?
It's liberal use of lasers arts degree.
We only
It's
ma-
shortened.
We only made up to a 2 megawatt, so can't really speak to a 5. The 80s had a really bad thing of people committing horrific acts, and then they just end with, "Ha ha, you scamps." So it would be really nice if this had ended with, "Yay, we really showed that mean professor." No, you fired a military superweapon at a residential neighborhood.
Yeah.
You're all going to
Several
jail.
times.
Yeah, you're right, actually.
You're never going to see the sun again, you scumbag.
Okay.
Your favorite one was also my favorite one.
Yeah, the ice
fucking-
luge.
Yeah, ice luge. But they turned the dorms into a skating rink somehow.
It's
Yeah.
not somehow.
Or a Mario level.
We get introduced to the Asian, super smart, stereotypical friend,
Giant glasses.
secondary character. Yeah, and apparently this guy has made ice that when it evaporates, it doesn't actually turn to water; it turns to gas.
So, it turns their dorms into a jungle. Hey, how do you feel about 100% fucking humidity up in here?
I feel sleepy. Don't close your eyes. Don't close your eyes.
You heard
because
of
that was the
Athlete's
first
Foot?
thing Jay said was like, oh yeah, no, that ice luge is sweet. That is so many millions of dollars of water damage. Water damage, the only thing worse than water damage, I think, is smoke damage. Other than that, ugh. Yeah, but good news is, super smart guy makes it so it evaporates instead of
Yeah, so it
melts.
vaporizes.
Yeah, but no, it's
skips
still
the
going to
liquid
go into
state.
the walls and coat everything.
There's
Yeah,
a
but
really-
you're just gonna have fucking 100% humidity. I mean,
Hey.
there's enough ice to cover this entire fucking dorm floor, and when we see it vaporize and Val Kilmer's there, it's just fucking white smoke. That would just be humidity.
My
Yeah.
hair would look like shit.
Your makeup would run.
You remember how in college there's always that one old dorm that they're like, yeah, I had to shut that down. Real bad mold infection. That's why.
Mold everywhere.
Immediately. Immediate mold.
Apparently that sequence was based on some MIT prank thing where the dorms had cement floors, so they would put down oil and grease and shit and go sliding through the hallways. But that's not as bad as a shit ton of ice.
They
Yeah.
did have a really cool sled ramp down the stairs. We occasionally get people flying through on sleds.
I would have
That's-
written down on that.
That's
Getting
where we get Jordan's introduction.
Concussed. Fucking the walls up beyond belief. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
as someone who's taken a laundry basket down many flights of stairs, you fuck shit up.
All of the parties are just 80s party. There's
the aforementioned party in the gym where they have a pool that
it's not a
has
gym, it's an auditorium.
an auditorium
that they
Sorry.
built a pool in.
For mental exercise.
for mental exercises.
Yeah, should we talk about Laszlo, the study gremlin in the walls? Because he was one of the other shining lights of this
Oh
movie.
my gosh. What a peach.
He has a roller coaster built into the walls of this school that he
A la
rides.
Casper.
Yes, that he rides down to his little masturbation cave in the steam vents.
Don't call it that.
You know
That's
it was.
what it is.
You know it was.
I mean, that like by that
Juice.
logic, that I have to call my bedroom the masturbation room. Like that's just not fair.
Juice. Think about this, right? Remember when they showed the shot of that and he had papers up all over the walls?
Is he like target practice?
No. There were
Kind
those
of.
were concrete walls, so tacks aren't going to work. How do you think all those were held up there?
Gotcha.
Yeah, there you go.
Gotcha.
There you go.
Spider sense is tingling. Well, that's good because I just made some printouts.
Talented.
Juice, I told you not to use Vicks for research.
Yeah, Laszlo lives in the walls. He climbs through holes in the closet.
That was one of the few interesting points of this movie is just with no explanation seeing a weird long-haired adult man walk into a 15-year-old boy's dorm room.
Not say
Make-
a word.
It's dead silent. They're just staring at each other as he walks into the closet and closes the door.
And he kind of looks homeless with scraggly hair and a scraggly beard. But
I mean,
he's
it was
wearing
the
a,
80s, though, so everybody looks a little homeless.
That's true. But he's wearing a blazer and a button-up shirt and slacks. So it's a really, really strange thing.
I would have really liked it if the movie never explained it. And it had just
right?
gone on about the movie and then ended like, wait, but what about the guy who kept
Yep.
climbing in and out of his closet?
Yeah.
Are we not going to address that?
That would have been so
Nope.
much better.
That was when he first runs into him. I've been watching you.
That's the first thing those were the
That's
first
the
lines
first line. Yeah.
he speaks.
I think my first line would then be like, personal protection order, I gotta go.
PPO. Bye.
All right, I do want to read my description of Kent because I'm pretty proud of this one. I think I summarized the character well. Kent was Kent the Cunt, as a reminder,
Yes.
our secondary antagonist of the film.
Douchebag.
Dickbag alpha geek who flexes on Mitch, once found naked with a bowl of Jell-O, and cuts the collars off of sweaters so he can wear them underneath his button-up.
It was summer. He was hot and he was hungry.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. We've all had those moments of, oh man, if someone walked in, this would look bad. But it's not a sex thing. It's a necessity thing.
Yeah, it's totally not a sex thing.
It's a necessity. I need this. Jell-O.
I don't even want it. I must have it. This is a demand.
That's a fairly accurate summation of Kent.
Yeah.
The cunt.
He's just so off. Every single character of this movie I wanted to punch in the face for unique reasons for each of them.
Oh, yeah. It was a kaleidoscope of hatred in my heart. Val Kilmer, just his whole character aside, and I'm not a scientist, watching him shun lab safety and supposedly being one of the most intelligent people on earth, whatever.
But he's quirky.
He doesn't wear shoes in the lab. He's wearing fucking slippers,
Bunny slippers.
bunny
Yeah,
slippers.
bunny.
He doesn't wear glasses. He puts his glasses on the back of his t-shirt, which is like the stupidest fucking thing. That's worse.
The worst is when they wear it on the back of their head.
No, it's worse than that.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it is.
He wore catcher's pads instead of the fucking lead-lined dentist smocks you're supposed to wear.
Yeah, no.
that's right.
Catchers.
There is a
catchers-
reason for lab safety, Val.
He was wearing his shirt open, chest exposed. Like, you generally kind of want the least amount of skin showing as possible. And you're dealing with hot-ass lasers. And does that... No?
I mean, when's the last time that you were in a laser lab?
I always start to regret it when I'm cooking naked, when I'm just like, God, one fucking splatter is going to ruin my day. So I got to make sure I keep stirring this shit.
It'll
Well-
make the dog's day.
That's why Ludacris has all of his cooks cooked naked, so that way they ain't messing up the place.
It's true. Everything's slow and low when you cook naked.
Don't fry bacon.
Hell no. I don't like...
Dave, what bugged you the most about this movie?
There were 5, maybe 6 different montages in this movie.
No, they
were there?
weren't.
Except
No, they weren't.
I think it was the 5th one I realized that they weren't montages for the most part. They were just normal scenes that they had replaced all the dialogue with montage music. There was one montage of them taking one exam. That's not a montage.
No, and you can
It's just
cut
the
it.
scene taking an exam.
You
Honest-
can see, like, it looks like it's a close-up of
Val Kilmer.
Mitch and Jordan talking, and it looks like actual important dialogue, but like something went wrong with their camera that day, but they had to use that footage. So like, just throw some music over it.
No, my theory here is that they actually had one montage and then realized that when they summed up between when the first montage and the 5th montage happens, the movie was only like 27 minutes long. They're like, all right, we gotta drag this out, guys.
We need another
We gotta-
Bryan Adams song,
Yeah.
which was really in this movie. I looked it up.
Of course it is. It's from the 80s.
Yeah,
Right.
he was everywhere back then. All right, and one other thing we have to talk about. The only thing written in my random notes section, since someone told me to write it down. Can you hammer a 6-inch spike through a board with your penis?
Possibly the greatest line of this film.
Yeah. Val Kilmer is hitting on a girl.
It's apparently the big boss's daughter.
Yeah, is the daughter of
A general.
a general, which this is not a good. Don't blatantly hit on a military man's daughter in front of him. I don't see that going well.
Still just showing up at your house, trust me.
Val
Yeah.
Kilmer doesn't care.
But her qualifier to whether or not he gets to break off a piece is whether or not Val can hammer a 6-inch spike through a board with his penis.
Question.
Asked in front of her military father.
Yes.
Now, she was later found to be sleeping with our
With
main
Jerry.
Jerry,
Yeah.
our main professor. So does that mean that he can hammer?
Presumably, yes.
Okay. I'm liking where
William
this is
Atherton's
going.
packing.
Do you know this for a fact? I mean, have you
Were you
experienced
look?
it?
I didn't look. I didn't think to look. I should have looked.
He apparently
Always
meets
love
that
Casey.
criteria, Juice.
Yeah,
I
I
would
mean-
say that's a terrifying prospect.
She asked the question pretty confidently, so I
It
assume
was
that,
not her first time asking that
Yeah.
question. You're right.
I assume that there's a
That's how you get a second date with this girl.
you prove you can hammer it through.
I
But
wouldn't be able to get a date then.
I just really like that she asked in front of her dad. I'm trying to imagine some girl hitting on me when I'm having dinner with my mom and just being like, "Well, can you pick up a quarter with your pussy lips?"
Oh, that's so great.
I need to go to
Dave,
lunch
what's
with
your
you
next
guys
date?
more often.
Ma, you got any change in your purse?
Casey, the important question is, when it comes to Real Genius, would you watch it again? She says as yawn. Yawn.
Immediately
No, this was so fucking boring. It was a boring movie. It wasn't good. It had a couple fun. Like I barely took any notes because I'm just like, is this really happening? What's happening? Is anything happening? Oh, the rat guy's in the scene. I like that. Juice, would you watch this again?
I don't think so. This is my first time actually seeing this whole,
Me too.
right? And it wasn't worth it. I will go back and I will watch the house blowing up with popcorn again because that
Because
was
it's
Guys are
awesome.
so
fucking
weird.
fantastic. It's so great. And I'm actually happy, Dave. Thank you for bringing this because I actually
Yeah.
got to see
Now you know
what led up to this. It wasn't good by
No,
any means, but
No.
it's like, you know, if I'm sick with leukemia and the doctor finally tells me I have leukemia, it's like at least I feel better knowing what it is. So, Jay, are you going to give yourself leukemia and watch this movie again?
There's a subplot here that nobody's really talked about because when the ground is frozen over of the dorm, there's a kid that goes sledding past without a helmet on, face forward, and he is going incredibly fast. What we don't see
Very
clearly
fast.
off screen is we hear vaguely in the background him smashing his head into the wall and dying instantly. There's also the matter of the laser beam that goes off and tears through a bunch of things. Tell me that didn't at least injure, if not kill, one person.
Right.
You're lying. There is a series of death and destruction behind this movie that they don't want you to know about, Dave. And if you follow the money,
Damn it.
you follow the money,
Where's the money going? Is it
It'll
going
lead-
into the walls?
it'll lead directly into the walls where I am not watching this movie again. Dave, would you watch this movie again?
The money went to TriStar Pictures.
Damn them. And they still went broke.
Yeah. Would I watch this again? This is a movie that I actually watched quite a few times when I was a kid.
Don't say that out.
Shame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Shame.
No, we're recording
Shame.
shame.
Not because I was necessarily choosing it, just because it's the type of thing that ended up on like TBS and TNT a lot.
That's probably why I've seen that
I've
end scene.
never seen this movie ever. I've never seen a second of it.
I have.
So I'd clocked a few viewings of this before, but seeing it again for the first time in a while, it didn't age well.
Oh.
And aside from, you know, the good dreams I'm going to have tonight about diving into a pool of popcorn, I don't know that
Thought it
there
was
was too
mashed
much.
potatoes.
No, you.
Oh God, not with the
Mashed potatoes are
again.
like quicksand.
Wait, so
Mayonnaise.
hold on. Are we like putting
Room-
popcorn in a big bucket of mashed potatoes, mixing them all
Oh,
up?
no, don't
Room temperature mayonnaise.
You
Because
keep-
the warmer it gets, the more it smells.
keep your starches separate.
So, are you just having like a heated room for Steven Seagal?
No. A forgotten room.
It
doesn't need to be
We're
heated.
ruining Dave's.
I actually went. In my head, I started going to a different. I think it's more like a sauna with a big steaming pile of mashed potatoes in the center, and then every once in a while, you just ladle some more gravy on top of
What
it,
about hot ranch?
and you can just kind of. No,
Would you say that?
you and your disgusting ranch fetish can just get out of here. No, I
Resistance
wouldn't
is
watch it
futile.
again.
So you're open to the ranch, is what you're saying.
I would not watch this again, and I would not eat hot ranch.
I have good news, everyone. We have graduated from Back to School Month.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, it was. You have to play Pachelbel's canon.
That's
yeah,
what
you
he's
are.
doing.
Good deal. Good deal. Awesome. Casey, now that Back to School Month has wrapped up, you've graduated. reflect back. Give us your thoughts.
I'm gonna be a dick and say the only movie I liked was my own. The rest were terrible and painful and the wrong kind of bad. But as per the usual, Treat Williams treated us right and taught us to treat ourselves.
Hey, okay, Substitute 2, yes, was definitely the standout of the month.
Absolutely. And then
In
you know
terms-
what else I found out? BD Wong has a Twitter and he's fucking hilarious.
I'm happy that you got that. I had fun mocking Real Genius with you guys, if nothing else.
That's fair.
I think if we were to front load the Jack next time, get the Jack Daniels a little earlier in the evening, and that might not have been too bad of a ride.
I was dreading the Jack Daniels actually the whole time.
That was the best part of my night so far, to be completely honest.
Same.
The best part of this entire month has actually been the booze. I've loved your cocktails, Casey.
My cock ... tails. I'm gonna say the apple pie moonshine in a juice box is my favorite.
No, absolutely not. That was
my-
awful.
What?
Awful.
I mean, it was
What?
fine. It was apple pie moonshine.
I
so
love apple pie moonshine.
I got to give it to this one.
That's
The-
my pumpkin spice latte is apple pie moonshine.
It was fine, but in terms of like just an overall drink, the cider and amaretto and Jack was definitely the standout for me.
I'm with you, Dave.
I really
Though,
enjoyed that one.
I definitely think the Smirnoff and Jolly Ranchers was a close second.
Oh my god.
Ah,
Why?
what's wrong with you?
I don't know. I never got to actually taste that one as a kid.
And the Jolly Ranchers too. Do you not
Yes.
remember the
No.
odor?
I couldn't. I could do that. That was fine. Actually, I couldn't do the Skittles at the very end of the Skittle run
The
because
candy
that was
worm.
really bad.
Now that we've graduated from back to school month, what's next, Casey?
Making that money, honey. Fucking capitalism month. It's going to be shopping themed. Oh, we're going to have a montage or probably 34 of
You can't shop without
Money.
a montage.
I'm going to say I expect in this movie month coming up, we're going to at least hear the song Money by
Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd once. But more importantly, and everybody's a little saucy at me, but we'll make it. I am bringing Paul Blart, Mall Cop.
God damn.
I've dodged this movie for so
I
long.
also have, and it just, you know what?
It's
I'm
not
ready.
time. It's not.
I'm ready.
You are not Bruce Buffer.
You
Dave.
will not let me bring any Medea movies, so I'm going.
That is the wrong kind of bad.
Thank you.
That is not what we're here
No,
for.
it
I will stand behind
absolutely
Jay on
is.
that one. I will
It
stand behind
absolutely is, but I'll take what I can get, and I'm gonna get Paul Blart, Mall Cop,
Jay.
on the
Dave,
Google
you,
Play.
You've seen this movie before, haven't you?
No, I've not. Why would I have seen
Have
Paul
you?
Blart Mall Cop?
I'm the only motherfucker
You
here who's
piece
seen
of
this
shit.
movie.
You
Shame.
piece of shit!
Wait,
Shame!
wait,
Shame!
wait,
Shame!
wait. Have you seen the sequel?
They have a fucking sequel.
Okay, you
no.
all, damn it.
I almost brought the sequel because I like to just jump right in, but I figured
That
the
is Casey's
sequel
MO.
is going to be 100% recycled jokes from the first one, so I guess I should know what they're referencing. Well, guys, I say we turn off the lights, go downstairs, polish off the rest of that cider, and Jack. and
I
amaretto.
never thought I'd say this, but yeah, let's do that.
Goodbye.